All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we back for another episode of Just a Fan Podcast.
Awesome.
All right. We look like two deep safeties right now. So basically, I'm quarter host, NFL Encyclopedia, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this thing, Coach Williams. Oops. I'm glad I didn't mess that up. What's up? What's up, D?
What's up, Don? Hey, sweetie.
And then next door, right there, not literally next door, but anyway.
No, we a few miles apart, Doc.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles apart. The middle linebacker, the one that always raising chaos.
I hate Kyle Shanahan.
Panel 316.
I got my Kyle Shanahan shirt on. You want to see? It says CSI. It says can't stand idiots. Okay, so yeah.
So we have a couple we had two football games on Sunday. And let's talk about the first one, Philadelphia versus San Francisco 49ers. Eric, I know that the pan is hot, the grease is hot. You got your cornmeal, and you about to dump some, and you won't be dumping fish in it. So talk to me. What's up,
man? Look here. It's until he proves otherwise, he's gonna have to show me. Kyle Shanahan he's good enough to win enough games to get in the playoffs. Then he's good enough to go deep into the playoffs. He's just not good enough to win the big game. And it's frustrating because he's been to 3 conference championships. He's won one, gone to a Super Bowl, and squandered that as a head coach. I ain't even talking about what he did in Atlanta. It's frustrating as hell because, and people are saying, well, I know there's somebody that's probably saying, well, hey, man, your quarterback got hurt, man. That's not really Shanahan's fault. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm going to break it down for you before I even get to Brock Purdy getting hurt. You have a 4th and 3. Your defense has forced a 4th and 3. The Eagles go for it. Dante Smith makes a catch on 4th and 3. He immediately jumps up and is trying to get everybody to get to the line of scrimmage, and Jalen Hurts is running down the field. Your safety telling Noah Hufanga doing this at the refs. Common sense ought to tell you, hey, man, you know what? I need to challenge this. I need to trust my players and also look at what the other team is doing. Why are they hurrying like that? Wait a minute. Why are they hurrying like that? Wait, let me throw this red flag. He didn't challenge it. What happens? The Eagles go up 7-0. That was a cheap 7 points that they got that should have been the end of that drive because of an incomplete pass. So there's that part. Now, fast forward, Brock Purdy draws back to pass. Hassan Reddick, who is probably a top 5 pass rusher in this league.
Right.
If you're facing a top 5 pass rusher in this league, do you ask your backup tight end to block him one-on-one?
Let me tell you something. I don't ask no tight end, no wide receiver,
You
and
the
no
coach.
running back to block one of the best edge defenders in the league. I don't.
Exactly. And they asked Tyler Kroft. See how people are looking like right now? I'm probably sure I'm looking into people's eyes through the screen and I'm like, who is Tyler Kroft? Exactly. They asked Tyler Croft, the backup tight end, not even George Kittle, who is a damn good blocker. They didn't ask him to block him. They asked
Ask Kyle
backup tight
Juszczyk
end.
to block him.
They asked the backup tight end to block Hassan Reddick, who is a wrecking machine. Okay. Hassan Reddick blows straight through that block, reaches up, does his job. I have no ill feelings toward the man. He was doing his job. They teach you if you can't get all the way to the quarterback, you swat at the ball. Well, in the process, the ball's in Brock Purdy's hand, and his elbow gets bent all the way back and tears his UCL. Brock Purdy's out. He can't throw. Great. That's Kyle Shanahan's fault. Then you put Josh Johnson in the game, who, and I saw somebody put a meme up that was just basically hating. They was talking about, they had a picture of Josh Johnson with all the teams he's been on. And it's like, stop making excuses, 49er fans. Yeah, this dude been on several teams. That's a glaring indictment as to why, if he's been on that many teams, that means he's not that good. Hey, DeMarion. But he's not that good. Just because you was on fries at McDonald's, at several different McDonald's restaurants, does not make you the GM, good enough to be the GM. I worked at McDonald's on Washington. I worked on McDonald's on Phelan. I worked at McDonald's. I'm naming all streets in my hometown.
Martin Luther King Boulevard.
No, there's always one on Martin Luther King. So I don't care what city you in. There's a McDonald's somewhere on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
And it might not be Martin Luther King Boulevard, it might be Martin Luther King Avenue or something.
Something like that.
Right.
But yeah, just because you work fries at all them different McDonald's don't mean that you good enough to be the manager of the store. So, you're down to your fourth quarterback. Your defense starts pressing because they realize the offense ain't going to give them nothing. So we got to make a play. We got to make a play. So then they start committing penalties. And it's like, oh my God. So everything just collapsed from there based on two horrible decisions that Kyle Shanahan made in a big game. And this is not the first time. Y'all know every year I come on here and I fry Kyle Shanahan up. And the thing was, and I told Steve ain't on here right now because he can't stand it when I'm right. And he's, oh man, y'all gonna be all right. I said, Kyle Shanahan has been coaching his tail off. I said it last week. He been coaching his tail off for about 12 straight games. I said, the fall is coming. I said, because he's like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me I didn't coach 12 straight games and made great decisions as a coach? Oh, this is the NFC Championship coming up. Let me hold my bill. Let me screw the pooch right quick. He's so frustrating. And I say it all the time. He is the dumbest smart kid in the class because he's a brilliant play designer. He's magnificent when it comes to finding coaches to fill his coaching staff. And we're going to get into that later because he's always getting his coaching staff poached. Tough. Okay, so Prolific Rambo says, good season 49ers, tough way to end, but organizationally, the 49ers and Eagles and are top end franchises right now. Yeah, no. We still a good franchise. It's just that we're stuck. Like most of the time when a coach screws up, he has enough stuff you can list where you can say, we can get rid of this guy. Shanahan is the guy that does just enough to not get fired. Because he can put out, hey, man, I done been to 3 conference championships. I done been to the Super Bowl. But yeah, Kyle, you crapped the bed in 2 of those conference championships. And then you crapped the bed in the Super Bowl that you had won. 6 minutes left in that game. You're averaging as a team, you're averaging 5 yards a carry. And you got 10, you're up 10. The best thing to do is keep Pat Mahomes on the sideline. What you gonna do? You're gonna put the ball in the hands of that bum Jimmy Garoppolo and let him throw the ball. Incompletion. Do you think if y'all had Jimmy G or Trey Lance? Hell no. Let me tell you something, DeMarion. Jamarian Jackson said, do you think if you had put that back up, Brandon, so I can finish reading that, please? Thank you.
Mhm.
Do you think if y'all had Jimmy G or Trey Lance, y'all would have done better? Okay, for the first point, Jimmy G, hell no. We wouldn't be in the conference championship if Jimmy G was starting. Because Brock Purdy, and Brandon, I know you agree with me on this. Brock Purdy was able to do things that Jimmy Garoppolo could never
Never.
do. Never do. When Brock Purdy took over, he was making decisions. It wasn't about his arm strength and like anything like that. It was just the heads up decisions he was making. So, oh, it's not open. Let me throw it away and live to fight another down. Oh, it's 3rd and 7. Now I'm gonna complete a pass and I'm gonna convert. Oh, wait a minute. Nobody's open. Let me scramble around and see if I can make an off-schedule play. And did. Let me scramble around. Wait, and get out of bounds and not take a big hit and pick up yards. It was his decision making and his poise. Jimmy Garoppolo is horrible in those type of situations. Jimmy Garoppolo is, okay, here's my play. When the play breaks down, I'm going to just lay down and take this sack. And you know I'm telling the truth. Or better yet, let me force something because I think I have the arm strength of Brett Favre. I'm going to force something in the coverage and throw a pick. That's Jimmy Garoppolo.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got John Elway's on back when he was 20-something. No, that's Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm hoping, and it really scares me with this injury to Brock Purdy because scarier things have happened. John Lynch will fool around and re-sign Jimmy Garoppolo to a 1-year deal. And I'm scared of that. Get him out of there. Now, to the second part of your question, Demarion, Trey Lance. We still don't know what Trey Lance is. I'm tired of people saying he's a bust. I'm tired of people saying he the answer. When you think realistically, we don't know what he is yet. But I'm willing to give him time to see what he is before we ship him off. I hear too many sports writers talking about, the 49ers have a quarterback quandary. No, the hell we don't. We got 2 quarterbacks that are on their rookie deals that cost us almost nothing. And we can use all of our cap space to bring back the guys we need to and possibly bring in some more guys.
Right, because right now Brock Purdy's only getting paid a ham sandwich. We're talking about a guy that was drafted round 7 at the very bottom. You pay him
Say it again. Say it again.
Ham sandwich. Trey Lance, you pay him a cheeseburger with bacon on it, onions, tomatoes, lettuce, and
because of the rookie wage scale, these guys on rookie deals, they're not making a lot of money. And I just got a report in now, Brock Purdy has gotten a second opinion and he's thinking about not taking the surgery, and there's a chance that UCL can heal on his own. So he may not be out for 6 months, which means he could be back for OTAs or at least throwing by training camp. So
my only thing is with that is, yes, he can heal on his own. I would still bring him back slowly.
Oh, no. I'm not saying it's throwing back. No. I'm not saying that.
But I'm also afraid of someone or just him hitting it wrong again that could further damage it later on down the road. I mean, even if it completely heals. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But no, I think they're smart enough to bring him along slowly. But Brock Purdy makes $870,000.
How much?
$870,000. That's it.
See, that's what I'm saying. They're paying him ham sandwich money because the veteran minimum in the NFL is $705,000.
Mm-hmm. So you got, and I'm trying to find. I'm really trying to find Trey Lance's salary. But
all you gotta do is go on Google, type in Trey Lance contract, go to Spotrac, and you find it. That's what I always do.
Yeah, Trey Lance makes $940,000.
Bacon cheeseburger with lettuce.
He got some extra bacon on it.
No egg because egg's expensive.
And he got cheese on it.
Yeah, got cheese on it. That's why I said bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, so you got 2 quarterbacks who make under $1 million. And you still got some what I call booger eaters that's sitting up here talking about that the 49ers need to sign Tom Brady. Obviously, these people did not watch Tom Brady play against the Dallas Cowboys. People who want Tom Brady in San Francisco did not watch him play that game against the Dallas Cowboys. That should be the last game he plays.
Honestly. I agree. I
He
agree.
is, I'm sorry, he's washed. He's 46 years old. Y'all, my birthday tomorrow, I'll be 48.
I don't care.
I'm
I
2
don't care.
years older than Tom Brady.
I don't care where. I don't care where Tom Brady goes, whether San Francisco, Vegas, or Miami, or wherever.
How about home?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't care where he goes. They the the blueprint. If you go back and do what the Cowboys did to Tom Brady, it's over. He will have a horrible season. He
Yeah,
will
I
have a
just
horrible.
because it's not like it's not like he basically, didn't have weapons around him. He had a very good team around him. And it wasn't like, oh, wait a minute, he had a great season and then completely collapsed against the Cowboys. It was bad all season long. He went into the playoffs 8-9. You had a defense that was somewhere between top 10 and middle of the road. So the defense wasn't bad.
Right.
You got weapons. You got Mike Evans. You
Chris
got Julio
Godwin.
Jones. Even in the late stages of his career, Julio Jones, if you're not asking him to be a number one, he's still very productive.
He was
You
number
still,
3.
yeah,
Number 3. He was a number 3
thank
receiver
you.
technically.
Right. And number two, his number two was
Godwin.
who?
Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin, who came off of ACL and played admirably. Then
Yeah.
you got the young rookie running back. Cameron Braid is your tight end. It's not
Yeah.
like he didn't have weapons.
And Leonard
So-
Fournette was the other running back.
And Leonard Fournette with his no vision having self, you know,
No vision.
man, I watched the play. I promise you, I watched the play. He came right off the edge. It was against outside zone look against it was against Dallas. And there's nobody out there on that right side. And he cut inside for no reason. If he did cut outside, that's easily like a 9-10 yard gain, first down. And he cut inside and got like a 1.5 yard gain. I was like, they finna lose this game. I said, Dallas finna kick their tail. I said, because the only way you can beat Dallas is you got to continuously run the ball at them. Don't throw at them. You got to run at them. And I said, they could just pound the ball. But the holes were there, and Leonard Fournette didn't even see the holes. So, yeah. And then don't get me started talking on Byron Leftwich, who only attempted to run the ball 12 times in that game, which was stupid. But that's 2 weeks ago. But we were talking about Tom Brady. And we kind of delving into our other topic for today. We talking about the conference championship losers and their chances next year. And but I'm gonna table this because we're gonna get back into it. But moving forward, talking about San Francisco and Cincinnati. But let's talk about the AFC championship first before we get into that.
Yeah.
So you lead off on that one, Brandon.
So the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Cincinnati Bengals after certain football players was talking so much trash.
Bulletin board.
Certain football players was talking so much trash and shouldn't even be talking. Because first of all, your tape coming out of college was horrendous. It was so horrendous that you don't even need game film to see that's horrendous. His highlights were horrendous. Okay?
Man.
And now you're on your third NFL team as a first-round bust.
For those of y'all who don't know who we talking about Eli Apple.
Eli Apple, cornerback out of Ohio State University, 2016, when the New York Giants drafted him. His highlight tape was so horrible. All I did was sit there and laugh at him. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I laughed at him. And now he's in Cincinnati talking this, talking that. And every game, not every year, every game, he gets torched some way, somehow. So, anyway, they gave Kansas City bulletin board material. Kansas City came out victorious, and they advanced to the Super Bowl. Eric, talk to me about your favorite cornerback in NFL history that you wish it would be play for the 49ers right now.
Man, Eli Apple at best is a mediocre cornerback. Okay, at best he's mediocre. On his best day, he middle of the road. There are guys that are coming out right now that were late round picks that are corners that are better than Eli Apple. And he
One in
has
Seattle.
the biggest mouth, the hugest mouth on this whole team. And and that's not to take away from the other guys calling Kansas City Stadium Burrowhead. And I'm like, okay, we get it. And I've been on Cincinnati for a while. Demarion, they were really calling it Burrowhead. It
Yeah.
was disrespectful. It was mad disrespectful. And it's like, we get it. Cincinnati, you're still the reigning AFC champions, but you don't give a team as dangerous as Kansas City, who find ways to win despite injuries, who find ways to win despite deficiencies here and there. They find ways to win, and you're going to give them bulletin board material, so you're going to make them that much more motivated. It is senseless. I mean, just go play your game. If you know you better, do better. And then after the game, you can talk all you want. Because guess what? You didn't beat them. That's it. But you gave them few. You had guys who were injured was like, nah, I'm playing this game. I don't figure it out. Tape it up. Give me a shot. Something. I'm going to play. Because they were like, nah, you're not going to come in here and disrespect Pat Mahomes, who has been to 5 conference championships and 2 Super Bowls in his very short career.
Not just 5 conference championships, 5 conference championships in a row.
Yeah, consecutively. That's not nothing to sneeze at. You don't disrespect this man and his team. And they found out the hard way.
Sure
They
did.
really found out the hard way. And it's like, you just don't, when it's that high stakes, you do not give the other team bulletin board material to motivate them.
Exactly.
And there's nothing, the only thing that's more high stakes than a conference championship is the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. Conference championship is huge because you're still, when the next season comes in, you're still looked at as one of the top 4 teams in the league before the ball is kicked off week 1 of the next season. You go in as these are like next year, they're going to say the Eagles and the 49ers are the 2 best teams in the NFC until something different happens. Kansas City and Cincinnati are the 2 best teams in the AFC until something different happens week 1. So you just don't do that, So this conference championship is too big. It's too big. I wouldn't do that in a week 5 game. I wouldn't do that. Don't give them something because I read something like that. I'm like, I'm finna go out there and tear somebody's head off.
Especially if you're a first round bust.
Yeah. Oh man, Eli Apple. And here's the thing: he's a free agent this year, and some idiot GM is going to give him a contract. We've been talking about this all week, Brandon.
Yes, we have, because I literally sat there and said the other night, I said, here's a guy who's a first round bust, played 7 years in the league, and he's terrible at corner. Everyone picks on him. Teams know to pick on him. All it takes is one team to sign him, and they will sign him. When you can just get some 7th round corner who's between 6'1" and 6'3", runs 4.3, 4.4 speed, and you could develop him and make him halfway better than what Eli Apple ever will be. Because Eli Apple is not a has-been, he's a never was.
I was about to say that. I was just getting ready to say that he's a never was.
Yeah, you know who I got that from?
No,
Remember
where?
I moved the replacements?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When they talk about Shane Falco, you not a has-been, you a never was.
Never was.
Uh-huh. That's what
Yeah.
he is. Eli Apple's a never was.
Yeah, it is, and because of the nature of the game now with so much passing, the most plentiful positions you can find from 1st round to 7th round in the NFL draft and find gems is receiver
Yes.
and defensive back.
Yes.
Because you need receivers because it's a passing league now.
Mhm.
And you need guys to guard those receivers.
Mhm.
So you go out and you find Talanoa Hufanga and I'm just using my team for an example, but Talanoa Hufanga was a 6th round safety out of USC. He's all Pac-12, and he went all pro this year.
Look, shoot, Deron Bland, who was our 5th or 6th round corner, he finished the season with 5 interceptions, despite only playing like the last 6 games of the season.
Yeah, you can if you have a good enough scouting department, you can
And
go,
coaching staff to develop players.
you got to develop the players. You can find gems
Yes,
late in the draft,
Yes.
especially at those positions.
yes,
Especially at those positions. And because they're not running the ball as much, only very few teams run the ball a lot in this league now. But because teams aren't running the ball a lot, guess where there's an overabundance, there's a surplus. Running backs. That's another position. You can find great running backs late in the draft.
yes.
You don't have to go get a guy in the first or second round if you don't want to. You know? So, and I can't wait till we get into the offseason and start talking about draft talk, because I love that time of year. It's like Christmas for me. It's the most wonderful time. Yeah, I love scouting players and talking about them and who's going where and all that. But let's get into our next topic where we're talking about the teams because we're going to spend a lot of time next week talking about the Super Bowl teams. Our entire show next week is probably going to be covering the Super Bowl.
Unless these other 2 teams make their head coach hires, which is Indianapolis and Arizona.
Right. Well, I mean, that's real short, but and no Kyler Murray pun intended. It's a real short segment. But
Shorter than an ant.
the teams that lost the conference championships moving forward is really interesting, because we have to look at what are their chances of returning next year to the conference championship, or even getting remotely close. So I want to start with Cincinnati.
Talk to me, because you said you took some good notes on Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has the 4th most cap space going in the next season.
Really?
43 million. 43 million. So they had already put together a decent offensive line. Just those guys got hurt.
You know what it is? I'm sorry. They're not really paying anybody yet.
Now, Joe Burrow's going to need to get extended soon. However, 43 million is still a lot if you got a good capologist in your organization.
He's up for an extension.
Yeah, but if you got a good capologist, you can make it work. The top free agents they have are Jesse Bates, Von Bell, and Hayden Hurst. After that, everybody else is chump change.
I don't see Jesse Bates coming back.
Okay, so guess what? You can go off and you can draft you a safety. Because
they drafted that safety last year. What did he do?
Huh?
How did he do?
How did who do?
The safety they drafted last year in the 1st round.
Who did they draft last year in the 1st round?
Give me a second. You gonna be like, oh, I know what you're talking about. If anybody else know in the chat box, let us know. But 20.
I wish we had some Bengals fans around.
Yeah, I know, right? Who did they? Because they drafted a safety last year in the 1st round. Player selections. Come on. Let's see. Cincinnati.
Why are you looking that up? But
Daxton Hill.
Daxton Hill. Okay.
From Michigan.
Yeah, I know you're talking about it. So,
Yep.
So if Jesse Bates, they decide to let him walk in free agency.
They probably would. They probably let him walk.
You only got Von Bell and Hayden Hurst left, and the rest of the guys is chump change. You can make a deal with them. Hey man, jump back in here. We're gonna go do it again.
Hayden Hurst, I guess it just depends on how much money he wants. If I'm Hayden Hurst, I would either stay in Cincinnati or go to a place where they need a tight end, and they could potentially be deep playoff contenders. Other than that, though, I would stay in Cincinnati, even if it's to take less money than some team like Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this though: who desperately needs a tight end that's a deep playoff contender? Because most of your deep playoff contenders this year got good tight ends. They have them. That's a good, that's a question to be asked right there. Yeah, most of your playoff, your last 4 teams, and if you go back your last 6 teams,
Yeah, because I'm even looking at teams that lost in the division round. I'm like, hey, who needs a tight? Okay, the Giants need a tight end. I'm not saying I'm not
Okay,
calling them deep playoff contenders.
okay.
Hayden Hurst can help out Daniel Jones.
And the Giants got a crap ton of cap space too. So
Right. So I mean that's a team right there. I know Jacksonville gonna try to bring back Evan Ingram for a longer contract. We'll see
I
how that
would.
goes.
I definitely would.
I know,
Evan
I know.
Ingram played fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else lost in the conference championship? Minnesota's wild card. I don't care about Minnesota though.
They just brought in Hawkinson
That's
they
right.
traded for Hawkinson, so
And
they're good.
and Buffalo just gave Dawson Knox that contract
They
extension.
just gave Justin Nuts.
So
George Kittle is under contract for the next 3 or 4 years.
so if I'm Hayden Hurst, I'm either staying in Cincinnati or I'm going to the Giants.
And that makes
That's it.
sense. That makes sense. Now, we don't know what his motivations are. It might be just money, not
And that
even
could be
care
it.
about him.
That could be
So,
it.
so if his motivations are money, he can go one of these bottom dwelling teams that don't have anything and they trying to build something
That's true too.
that's got money. Yeah, I know they got Brevin Jordan in Houston, but shoot, they got OJ Howard in Houston, but none of them
That
really
was a
did
1 year
anything.
contract though, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't that a 1 year contract?
The OJ Howard one?
Yeah.
It might have been a 1 year deal. So that make, but they got Brevin Jordan, who's a young stud out there, but that's Houston. So,
Right.
But Cincinnati is in a really good place. They're top 4 in cap space. The free agents that they have are not going to cost them a whole lot of money. And they're returning a lot of their players already. So I could see them right back.
And I think Von Bell's he's a box safety. How old is he? Do you know?
Bell,
Yeah.
I can check right quick.
That's what I'm about to do now. I'm 28 years old. Yeah, you can bring him back on a good contract. Don't overpay him because he's a box safety now.
Right. I don't believe in overpaying box safeties.
Nah.
He's 29.
Yeah, I just saw that. So yeah, I'm not tripping off of Von Bell. I mean, like I said, bring him back on 2 or 3 year contract, pay him like $5 million a year, keep him moving.
Yeah. So, they're in a good place. Like I really, you got the rest of the AFC that's kind of in flux.
Yeah, because
with the
outside of Kansas City, you're looking at Buffalo, who if they don't do something soon, head coach need to be on the hot seat. Jacksonville's going to improve. Jets will see what they do at quarterback. Dolphins, we'll see who they get a defensive coordinator and what's going to happen with Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, he's coming back eventually, but they're going to have to figure out that concussion problem.
Yeah. Now, I will say this about Miami. Miami they just need a quarterback that doesn't screw the pooch at games. That's all, because that offense is the same offense that's running San Francisco. If you got a quarterback that makes good decisions, your offense can be really good. And they still have that freaking track team.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a track team. So,
Man.
I mean, if you look at it, they were down to their third string quarterback. And if it hadn't been for his inexperience, they were still in that game against Buffalo.
Yep.
They were still in that game. A couple of delay of game penalties don't happen, and they might be able to pull it off with that third string guy who hadn't gotten any snaps.
And that's why Buffalo should be in a whole lot of trouble because of that game. Not just because of what happened when they played Cincinnati and lost, but because of the way the game was played against Miami. And for a fact that if Miami had a more veteran quarterback,
They probably won that game.
Quarter. Yeah.
They probably would have won that game.
Buffalo is worse than people think.
Yeah.
And
I'm not counting them completely out, but
no, I'm not either. But what I'm saying though is Buffalo's in more trouble than people think. And like I said, it depends on what happens with Miami at defensive coordinator and with Tua Tagovailoa, and depends on what happens with the Jets and their quarterback situation.
Yeah. So moving forward, the San Francisco 49ers, they're top 10 in cap space with $60 million. They may do some restructuring. They have a few more free agents that they need to try to sign to bring back. Demarion Jackson says, do you think Tua should retire? I'm going to be honest. He's a young man, but 3 concussions in one season is troubling. That is
Let me
very troubling.
let me compare this. There was a former Cowboy, Falcon, and Jaguar receiver named Lauren Robinson who had 4 concussions in one season, and he no longer played football again.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence of Tua retiring. I want to see him again, but I don't want to see him, down on the ground because of concussion. So half of me is saying yes, and half of me is saying no. I hear. I like this answer right. Health before wealth, and I
Absolutely.
agree. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
So I think half of me, and I'm sorry for being like this, is kind of being like selfish because I like to see him play just to see him that he's okay and able to play football. But I also think he should retire because, like you said, 3 concussions in one season is just too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So back on topic. Yeah. So the Niners are top 10 in cap space, got about 16 million, but they have a long list of free agents. Jake Brendel, the center, who, if I'm not mistaken, was a Pro Bowl alternate this year.
Okay.
Jimmy Ward, the nickel / safety. Robbie Gold, the kicker who's never missed in the postseason in his entire career. He's been
I
in the
want to know
league
what
for
y'all gonna do
years.
with Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward is that's the big question mark because his postseason interview when they cleaned out their lockers and everything, he didn't seem like, oh yeah, I'm, they were like, well, are you sure? Are you open to returning to the 49ers next season? He's like, sure, you look at his body language, he's like, somebody offered me a big deal, I'm leaving, So
Right.
hopefully you can get him back. Emmanuel Mosley, who they lost to an ACL early this year. I don't think we lose a couple of games if Emmanuel Mosley's playing. Diamador Lenore played really well, but if Manny Mosley's out there, that changes the face of a lot of things that was able to get the other teams were able to do against the Niners. Charles Omenihu, the other edge rusher. Jordan Willis, another backup edge rusher. Now those guys should come pretty cheap. But the question is going to be Jake Brendel and Jimmy Ward and Robbie Gold. You want a kicker. I mean, Brandon, you're a Cowboy fan. No shade. You know how important the kicker is.
No, and not just because of what happened in the wild card game against Tampa Bay. We've had some. You remember Mike Vanderjagt? He played for the Colts. He came to Dallas for like one season, and he wasn't the same Mike Vanderjagt when he was in Dallas. I was like, "Ooh, who's this guy?" Yeah, no. So I know. We've been through kickers. We've been through kickers who done well. We've been through kickers who done bad. So yeah, I know. Trust me.
And a guy like Robbie Gold who's still doing it at a high level. Like I said, this man has never. I looked it up. This is a fun stat. Robbie Gold has never missed a kick in the playoffs in his entire career.
Wow.
Yeah, you pay the man, pay him. They call him Robbie Good as Gold, but that's a list of some of the free agents that the Niners have. Now, here's the question moving forward: is what's going on with the coaching staffs, and we can talk about that and segue into what's going on with coaches. DeMeco Ryans just signed a 6-year deal to become the head coach of the Houston Texans today.
Right after the Sean Payton news.
Right after the Sean Payton news, we're gonna get into that in a second. But here's the thing, and this will be the 3rd time that this has happened to San Francisco in a row. First, it was Robert Saleh. He left and went to the Jets. And he took a lot of assistant coaches with him. The 49ers were able to recover. They promoted DeMeco Ryans. Okay. And then they went ahead and then they moved some other people, brought in some other coaches, people that you've never heard of. And they had success. And then Mike McDaniel leaves, becomes the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And he takes a bunch of assistants with him. Took a wide receiver coach, took a tight end coach, took a couple other coaches. They fixed it. They back in the conference championship again. Okay, bunch of coaches, some people I never really heard of. Then
You heard of Brian
now
Greasy.
You heard
of Brian Greasy.
Man, so we heard of Brian Greasy as a player. And when they hired Brian Greasy, I'm like,
wait, what, huh?
huh?
You said you hired Brian Greasy to do what?
No, I said we heard of Brian Greasy as a player.
Oh, dude, you got to
we
pronounce
didn't
your
know
word.
how he was.
No.
But here's
You want to know what I thought you said?
you breaking
You
up,
hired him
man.
as a player. I was about to say, wait
Okay,
a
go
minute.
ahead again.
You retired and you brought
Say
him
it
out of
again, 'cause you were
retirement
breaking
at
up.
40-something years old.
Whoa. You there? Say something, Brandon.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yo,
Brandon's.
can you hear me? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Okay, so Shik's on you. How about those 49ers? What happened? How you lose 35-7? They suck. I knew all along. Okay, so let me go ahead and get you together, and you can get out of my inbox. So first things first, we lost our quarterback. Second of all, I ain't got time or the crayons to explain to you that type of thing, because if you say they sucked all along after winning 12 games in a row, then you don't need to watch football. Okay, so back to what I was talking about, because grown folks is talking now. All right, so no, what I was saying was we heard of Brian Greasy as a player. We had no idea what kind of coach he was going to be. However, if you look at it, the development of Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo, arguably before he had his injury, was having the best career, although it kind of pedestrian, was having probably the best season of his career. Brian Greasy turned out to be a pretty good quarterback coach.
Testing.
You know, you trying to get back in there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're in and out, man.
What's going on?
You know, your image is frozen, and okay, we just lost you.
Hold on.
Okay, something's going on. And it's just me. And Brandon's coming back. Brandon, say
Can you hear
something.
me? Testing.
We're having technical difficulties.
Testing.
Yeah, you're in and out. I can hear you say testing.
Okay, can you hear me now? Am I good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I just want to make sure everybody on the stream can hear me, man, because I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. All right, go ahead. All right, go. So go ahead and talk about what you was talking about now.
No, you're out again.
Damn.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this thing going, but basically the fallout, we're at another level of fallout from basically coaches being poached from the 49ers staff. And for the last 3 years, this has happened. And, you know, to the people who were saying that the 49ers suck,
Damn, I ain't know he left. Where the hell did he go? All right. Hey, y'all, can y'all hear me? I know we're still live. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second.
Brian
I think it's StreamYard. I don't think it's Can you hear me? You muted. You muted, Brandon. You muted. You muted, dog.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I got your message in Marco Polo. Okay, so hopefully everybody can hear us. Chat box, let us know if y'all can hear us. Both of us, make sure we're good. Cause it's not internet because my Wi-Fi on my cell phone is high, so I know it's not that. I was like, that's
No, it wasn't the
strange.
internet. I think it was StreamYard. That's the program that we use.
Yeah,
Okay.
it might have caught a couple bugs or something.
So yeah, let's continue. We're talking about the change up with the chances of the conference championship losers. What would their chances be next year? Cincinnati's chances are better than San Francisco's, but San Francisco still has a very good chance. They bring back most of the superstars on the team: Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, Trent Williams, uh, uh, Eli Mitchell. All of these guys are under contract. So that's the most important thing. It's ancillary players that could cost them, and then the schematic change that's going to happen when they bring in a new defensive coordinator, because there's always a drop off when you make a schematic change, unless your team is complete trash and you get a new coordinator and you got nowhere else to go but up. So 49ers had the number one defense in the league. DeMeco Ryans got that job with Houston, rightfully so. I have feelings about him being in Houston, but we'll see how that plays out. So a lot of my Houston fans, they know what I'm talking about. Brandon, don't put this clown stuff up no more. If I want clowns, I'll go to the circus. So yeah, because he brings nothing to the show. He comes, this guy's a clown. He comes on, he claims he's a Chiefs fan, but all he does is troll.
Talk good about the Cowboys, talk
He
bad
talks
about
about
the
Cowboys
49ers.
and he trolls the 49ers. So he's a clown. So he's never said anything about the Chiefs, but he claims to be a Chiefs fan. So unless you're going to talk about the Chiefs, which are going to the Super Bowl, congratulations. Which I'm like, if my team's going to Super Bowl, why do I need to talk about somebody else's team? That's what I'm saying. So anyway, troll, clown, get him out of here. But basically, coaching changes. That's the thing. DeMeco Ryans we'll start with him since we will segue and talking about these two teams that just lost the conference championship. Moving forward, DeMeco Ryans is going to the Houston Texans. Okay. That we all have our feelings. I think we share the same feelings about that organization and how it's run. DeMeco Ryans was a homegrown product. He was drafted by the Houston Texans. He played linebacker for the Houston Texans. And he basically, he's their product. So kind of going back home, even though he's not from Houston. Brandon, how do you think he's going to do in that atmosphere, in that organization?
Lord have mercy. I want to have so much confidence in DeMeco Ryans. I do. Not because I'm not saying he's going to be a terrible head coach or anything like that. I think he can have very good success as a head coach. However, he's in Houston. And Houston is one of the worst 2 or 3 organizations in the NFL right now. They treat their players bad. They have treated minority coaches bad. DeMeco Ryans is a minority coach. I'm hoping that they stop the cap and let DeMeco Ryans be a coach. I really do hope that they stop.
And realize that Rome wasn't built in a day.
Thank you. I'm glad though they brought in D'Amico Ryans because at least on defense, they're still gonna run a 4-3. Now they're gonna get out of that Tampa 2 and probably go a lot more single high stuff. Offensively, we'll see what that looks like because we need to find out who the offensive coordinator is going to be. I think they wanted to talk to your passing game coordinator.
Bobby Slowick.
Okay, that's who it was.
And as that mass exodus of coaches.
Yeah, so if you bring them in, then you'll be running Shanahan offense again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not again, but you'll be running his offense.
So now my question is: if they bring in Bobby Slowick, do you think they should stick with Davis Mills, or should they go ahead and try to find another quarterback?
You bring in another quarterback for competition because you're not going to get Derek Carr, you're not going to get Lamar Jackson, you're not going to get Aaron Rodgers, so you might as well just scrap that. My only thing is though, if you bring another quarterback outside of a rookie, there's not a veteran really worth bringing in because who you going to bring in? You're not going to bring in Carson Wentz because Carson. No, hold on, wait. Okay, you probably thinking Jimmy Garoppolo. And the only reason why I knew you, I saw your face and I said, "Oh shoot!"
You know me too well.
I was like, "Dang, the San Francisco connection."
Hey, y'all can have him for some chewed up bubble gum and a half-eaten ham sandwich. Take him.
Don't bring in Carson Wentz. Look, Carson Wentz should no longer be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Okay, but I'm not gonna get into that because that's getting off topic.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Who else is a veteran free agent quarterback? Like, don't bring in Nick Foles. Don't bring in Matt Ryan. Don't bring in maybe what's the dude in Washington? The other quarterback, not Carson Wentz. Tyler Heineke. Maybe Tyler Heineke. Maybe. But other than that, draft a quarterback to compete with Davis Mills. That's about it. You know what? This is a good comment right here. They should pick up the best available quarterback in the third round, have him compete with Davis Mills. I agree. Because your first round pick and your second round pick need to go to something like actual players. And then third round pick, competition.
Okay, so go with me on this.
No. Okay. The only reason why I would even halfway say yes on Jimmy Garoppolo is just because he's a veteron and he knows the system.
That's it.
My only thing is wait. The only pushback I got is how much money does he want?
Hey man, let's be real with this. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't gonna get no more big contracts. He's not. Jimmy needs to get whatever he get off.
I'm not saying he wants $40 million. He's not he should know that he's not worth $40 million.
He knows that. At least he should.
Now, could you pay him $20, $25 million? Sure.
There you go.
But
I don't think he's worth that, but
But I can bring in Tyler Heineke for $8 or $9 million. Save more cap space and build some more.
Okay, so yeah, Taylor Heineke is a free agent. Yeah. And yes, he'll come in cheaper. Yes. And I'd rather have Taylor Heineke than Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes. If you ask me, if I'm rebuilding a franchise and you give me the choice between Jimmy Garoppolo and Taylor Heineke, give me Heineke all day.
Yes.
Because again, at least Heineke is going to try to make plays off schedule if nothing's there. And he doesn't really make the dumb mistakes. I'm going to just lay down and take his 8-yard sack.
His interceptions come from lack of arm talent.
Right.
If he had Carson Wentz's arm, you might be talking about a different quarterback.
We might be talking about a Pro Bowler.
Right. and Washington will have their quarterback.
Yeah.
And be in the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the move would be to try to make a move for a veteran quarterback that understands that system. The question is
it's either Jimmy G or Taylor Heineke, and I'm not saying Taylor Heineke knows the system, but he can pick it up. But other than that, just get a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, because the pickings are slim. I'm looking
And
at this. The
look,
quarterback,
look,
the
it's a
quarterback free
shame.
agents.
No, I don't know what Eric. It's a shame how bad the quarterbacks are these days. I mean, mm,
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
it's rough. It's rough.
It's pretty rough out there.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough out there.
And
So
and to think that he was a number 2 overall pick at quarterback out of NDSU. Anyway, Frank Wright is not a head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Talk to me.
oh man. Oh, see, this goes into how you gonna just dump on Steve Wilkes like that, man, and then hire a guy who basically started the plunge of and I actually like Frank Wright, but he did start the Indianapolis Colts on that plunge.
Actually, that was
And
Jim Irsay, but keep
well,
going.
we know about Jim Irsay.
Come
Everybody
on
knows
now.
Jim
We know.
Irsay.
Look,
Jim Irsay
look,
is a
look,
clown,
look.
man.
All he had to do was override the general manager, get some offensive lineman for Andrew Luck, and you still have Andrew Luck right now at quarterback. But okay, next, Frank Wright, Carolina.
Yeah, Steve Wilkes, that's Steve Wilkes' job. But you know what? It's okay because Steve Wilkes is going to get a DC job. He's going to parlay that into another head coaching job, probably, unless they do him like Jim Caldwell or something like that. But who's playing quarterback for Carolina? That's my question.
We don't know
Exactly.
because Baker Mayfield been left. Sam Darnold's a free agent. You ain't bringing him back. And I mean, PJ Walker. I mean, he's a backup, but you need a
Damn good
starter.
one, but he's a backup.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good backup. He's a
I
good
tell you
backup.
what, I wish I had PJ Walker in that conference championship when Brock Purdy went down
Hey,
instead of Josh Johnson.
somebody, they need a quarterback. Draft one. Where do they pick this year?
They're middle of the road somewhere. They're middle of the
They
road.
middle of the road.
Yeah, they're somewhere in the middle of the road, I believe.
How in the world they middle of the road with their record? I'm trying to find out now. I'm sorry.
So yeah,
Carolina, where you at? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God. Oh, you picking 9.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, but
Not
to
too
get
bad.
one of those 2 quarterbacks, the best 2 quarterbacks, yeah, because if you don't get one of those 2 guys, you're almost reaching. Because from what I understand, Anthony Richardson, like he has the physical talent, but he needs development.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna bring in Anthony Richardson, I'm not. And when I say this, I'm not calling him Patrick Mahomes. But what I'm saying is, you got to give him the year off, like Patrick Mahomes, and develop him, like legitimately develop him. So Frank Wright knows quarterbacks because he played quarterback. So maybe you do bring in Anthony Richardson, but then maybe you have a veteran quarterback in there, and you're not going anywhere. So you can bring in any quarterback. You can bring in Carson Wentz and make him your starter. I know where you're going, Jimmy G, but
I just want him gone. I
no,
just want him
I
gone.
get that, but guess what? Jimmy G's better than Carson Wentz, though. Right or wrong?
Ooh, wait a minute now. Ooh.
No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Ooh.
No, Eric. I watched Carson Wentz look like a. You know what? I called. You know who I called Carson Wentz? I called him Tom Tupper Jr. Why?
He's an arm punter.
Yeah, he's an arm punter. That's what he is. Just drop back. I'm gonna throw it to the other team. I'm an arm punter. Drop back, throw it to the other team. That's what he's Tom Tupper Jr.
Well, if there's one thing that Jimmy Garoppolo has over Carson Wentz, is that Jimmy Garoppolo believes that he's better than what he actually is.
But he's better than Carson Wentz. I'm sorry, he's better than Carson Wentz.
You know what? I'm not gonna argue that point. I'm not. It's just because I just know that I wouldn't want either one on my team. That's all.
I understand that, but okay, Eric.
It's like trying to decide
Eric,
whether you want to slide down a razor blade into a bowl of alcohol
Eric,
or drown in a bowl of boogers.
Eric,
It's
if
either one is
someone came
bad.
to you with a briefcase full of money, $1 million, Who are you taking, Jimmy G or Carson Wentz? Make a decision.
I can't make a decision like
Come
that.
on, Eric.
Because they both horrible.
Pick one. Jimmy G
Jimmy
or
G is
Carson
a
Wentz?
product of his system that he's been in.
Jimmy G.
Because people go
Jimmy
like,
G or
he
Carson
won
Wentz?
this and he took you there. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Okay.
You
Well,
know?
then, if look. At least you know he's a system quarterback. Carson Wentz is not a system quarterback.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You get what I'm saying? If you're going to
Jimmy
take a
Garoppolo is
quarterback
above
that's
average
not
in the
good,
right
but
system.
he's good in the system, then give me the system quarterback.
Yeah,
Don't give me the other guy that's an arm punter.
That's fair. He's above average in the right system. Whereas
Yes.
Carson Wentz just completely.
Right. So
cracks
if
the
you bring in
lead.
Jimmy G, just like,
Yeah.
hey, Kyle Shanahan, what kind of stuff do you do? Okay, thank you. Hey, Sean McVay, I know you do similar stuff. Yeah. Matt LaFleur. I know you guys do similar stuff. Yeah, talk to
Mike
me.
McDaniel.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you need to do.
Yeah. So I guess so. I guess you're right on that one. I'm gonna defer to you on that one. But getting back to Carolina, I think that it's gonna be a while before we see them have any kind of success. I think Houston's gonna be more successful sooner, provided that they give D'Amico what he needs and leave him the hell alone, which we know Houston cannot do. They gotta have their hands and everything and mess up. Oh, you went 8-9. Oh, you on the hot seat, man. It's my first season. What the hell wrong with y'all? You know, so they'll give him more seasons than they gave Lovie Smith or Cully, but that's only because they drafted him. But there's some people that be like, they trying to change this and do better with that. In Houston, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
'Cause,
and another reason why he's gonna last longer is because you gave him a 6-year contract, and if you fire him after 1 year, you still owe him that money for the other 5 years.
Yes,
so.
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, so he's gonna be there for about 3 or 4 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so we'll see what it looks like after that.
So, let's talk about the big dog up there.
Hold on now. Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you never seen it before or never paid attention before, it happened earlier today. A head coach, yes, got traded. Sean Payton got traded from the New Orleans Saints to the Denver Broncos, and the Denver Broncos gives up a first-round pick and a second-round pick, and they get Sean Payton and a third-round pick in return. Yes, a head coach can be traded. It's happened to John Gruden. I believe it happened to Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, if I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and look. But definitely John Gruden. So, yes, a head coach can be traded. It's happened a couple times before, and it happened today. So, Sean Payton is now in Denver. And we get to another coach in a minute, but it won't be a head coach. Eric, talk to me. Sean Payton in Denver with Russell Wilson?
I think it's great. Not so great for the rest of the AFC West or the rest of the league.
Actually, I don't care because he's in the AFC. He not in the
Yeah,
AFC.
but you may have to see him sometime during the next. The people that were saying that Russell Wilson was washed and he's trash and this and that and the other, and you got to look at Nathaniel Hackett as a head coach, man. Nathaniel Hackett, who got his head coaching job, because he was the offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers. It's like, you didn't work. Hey man, you didn't do anything.
Adam Gase.
Yeah. So when you look at that, you got to look at the coaching. Sean Payton he's going to basically take Russell Wilson and everything that Russell Wilson does well. You got Tim Patrick coming back next year, which he wasn't part of the offense last year. Jerry Jeudy, he still got 1,000 yards, even though it was a really abysmal season. Cortland Sutton, who still has yet to break out, and I think it's coming, especially with this offense that Peyton's going to install.
KJ
You-
Hamler.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah. So you got 4 really good receivers.
Who's their
Um,
running back?
Oh God, let me not lie.
It's not. They got rid of the other guy that was they got rid of Melvin Gordon, who was fumbling like crazy.
Let's not invoke his name. Let's not invoke his name at all, because
He's going to San Francisco.
we don't need him. We got 4 good running backs. We don't.
I know you do.
Yeah, and one of them didn't hardly, 2 of them didn't hardly ain't getting playing time, and they solid because they was rookies. They didn't get a lot of playing time, so we solid at running back. But no, I can't wait to see what Sean Payton is going to do. If Russell Wilson is the Russell Wilson he was this season, next season under Sean Payton, then we're going to know he's done.
Right.
We're going to know for sure that he's done. But I don't see that Sean Payton is going to do. We know Russell Wilson's talented. We know his arm strength. We know his deep ball accuracy. We know his mobility, even though it's not as good as it used to be because he's older. We still know that, that he's got something there. And then with the right coach, it's like, okay, you do this well. We going to do this. So I really think, and then let's look away from the offense for a second, look over at the defense. They had a decent defensive team this season. That team defensively was not bad at all. So you got a decent defense and an offense that's going to get better. I think Denver, we got to see what they're going to do in the offseason. But I think Denver is poised to jump up on some folks.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's going to be like, oh, wait, where did this Denver Broncos team coming from? It was coaching. Just like, dare I say it, I might be going out on the limb here, but do you remember how abysmal Jacksonville was?
Of course,
and in 1 year, the right coach came in and they went the divisional round of the playoffs. What a difference. Huh? What'd you say?
Predicted by me.
Yeah, the difference, the coaching makes a huge difference.
Yes.
It makes a huge difference.
Yes.
You can have all the talent in the world and have bad coaching and not do anything.
That culture in Denver is about to change big time.
Yeah, I really feel like that culture is about to change. And we could be talking about the AFC West again. Like, here's the thing, and I kind of hope this happens because I would love to see it just for the headbutting. I would love to see Oakland Las Vegas get Aaron Rodgers. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see Aaron Rodgers in Josh McDaniels' offense, Sean Payton with Russell Wilson in his offense. The Chiefs ain't going nowhere. Pat Mahomes is just that guy. And then, oh, damn, I forgot. Kellen Moore's, God dog it.
Kellen Moore's with the LA Chargers.
God, he going to get Brandon Staley fired. God. Oh, man. Oh. I was about to get excited about the AFC West until I thought about Kellen Moore and
good old Kellen Moore.
God,
good old Kellen Moore. Hey, look, Kellen Moore. Guess what? If you're a Chargers wide receiver, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, be prepared to run nothing but hitch routes. Run 4 yards, turn around, catch the ball. 4 yards, turn around, catch the ball. 4 yards, turn around, catch the ball.
Completely forgot Kellen Moore is there. But anyway, we're talking about Denver. Sean Payton going to Denver is huge. The Saints getting those draft picks are huge. They can flip some burgers with them picks if they do what they're doing. Now, one thing I can say about the New Orleans Saints is they know how to maneuver around cap discrepancies, but they have got to be smart when they draft because they don't have very many draft picks now. Well, now they have more, but yeah, man, Sean Payton going to Denver.
You know what? You just brought up something interesting. You know who's handling most of their personnel decisions?
Wait, Denver or New Orleans?
Huh?
Denver or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Oh, who?
Sean Payton.
Wait, hold on. What?
So Mickey Loomis is yes a GM, but he handles more so contracts. Sean Payton was handling more that personnel stuff.
So you saying he was still working in the personnel department?
No, not this past season.
Okay, you had me confused right there when you said that. I was like, how? But okay, you talking about in the past
when he was coaching there.
Yeah, you talking about in the past. Okay.
So now, Mickey Loomis might have kept a blueprint or whatever, and that's how they got what's his name, Chris Olave. But yeah, Denver, they about to load up. You know what Sean Payton should do, and I'm not sure if he what's gonna happen with Vic Fangio. We're gonna get into him, and then we're gonna wrap it up. If you're not bringing back Vic Fangio, I'll bring back the defense coordinator from last year.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with that defense.
No,
there's nothing wrong with that defense.
I would bring him back. I literally would. If you cannot bring back Vic Fangio, I would bring Dude back.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Denver's defense.
No.
They can go get a couple more pieces and be back there whooping tail. Pat Surtain is him.
Yes.
He has been phenomenal. Simmons, the safety.
Just Simmons.
Yeah, great. He's been great. So, that there's nothing wrong with that defense. And that's what you want. You want a defense that, can maybe get you through the rough patches of learning that offense. If the offense is not rolling like it should just yet because it's a whole new scheme, you want a defense that can maybe erase some issues that you might have. And Denver has a good enough defense to do that. And I would keep that defensive staff. You're absolutely right. I would keep that defensive staff. Denver was yards per game. They were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. Top 10, 7th in yards per game. Points per game. Denver they were a little bit lower on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th in points per game. They allowed a lot of points.
And the thing about it is, you paid Randy Gregory money, who missed majority of the season. You traded Bradley Chubb halfway through the season, so you don't have like a legitimate pass rush. You don't have too many legitimate players on defense outside of PS2 and Justin Simmons. I mean, the only recognizable name that I know was Ronald Darby. Right, exactly. So if your defense is that good without a legitimate pass rusher and 2 DBs, I mean, and you got Sean Payton handling the draft, yeah, I'll bring back the defensive coordinator if I can't bring in Vic Fangio.
Yeah. So let's talk about Mr. Fangio.
Where's he going? Because originally he was supposed to be Sean Payton's defensive coordinator wherever Sean Payton landed.
Then I heard Miami.
And then I heard Miami yesterday.
And now
they're in San Francisco. So
right.
Is he going to Denver? Is he going to Miami? Or is he going to San Francisco? Where is he going?
So he has a relationship. He has a strong relationship with that coaching staff in San Francisco, which means he could wind up still in Miami because that's basically that entire coaching staff is ex-San Francisco coaches. So Kyle Shanahan likes him. The Yorks, the owners of the 49ers, they really like Fangio. He likes them. I think it will be an issue of money and freedom. And when I say freedom, allow him to do what he wants to do, bring in his assistants that he wants, which might be a conflict in San Francisco unless DeMeco Ryans takes a bunch of his guys with him to Houston, which he's already kind of started. There's already whispers about that. So this might take a while to play out. I'm not going to lie. We may not know anything this week. We may not know anything next week. He may be taking his time because let's be honest, if you're highly sought after by 3 different teams, you don't have to jump at a decision.
That's true.
Three good teams now we talking about. Okay.
That's true.
And when I say good teams, because most people are like, well, Denver didn't have a good record, but Denver had a good defense. So you got three teams, you got something to build on with.
Yes.
Miami's defense kept them alive in that playoff game. So that
Right.
defense is not bad in
Nope.
Miami. And then San Francisco was the number one defense. But that's a huge schematic change. He may not want to try to go in there and change everything because he knows there's going to be a drop-off whenever there's a schematic change like that.
Mhm.
So he runs a 34 defense, and the San Francisco 49ers run a 4-3 wide 9. So he might his mindset is Vic Fangio I'm talking about. His mindset may be, I don't want to go in there. I'm gonna have to like completely tear it down and rebuild it. And I know they're number one, but if I tear it down and start rebuilding it, it's gonna be a drop off. We may fall all the way to number 10 defense overall.
Right. Exactly.
Before we jump back up. And then the window for San Francisco is about another 2 years open. After another 2 years, that window is going to start closing because we still got, like I said, all superstars that are still signed for about the next 2-3 years. So about that third year, that window going to start closing, and then that fourth year is going to be shut. So he's got to look at that. But if I'm Vic Fangio, I'm gonna just sit back and see who throw the best off at me. What you gonna let me do? How much you gonna pay me? Okay, well, I used to live out there in Santa Clara anyway. Let me see. Well, Miami's really nice all year long.
And guess what? There's no state income tax
In Florida. Yep. So those are things that you have to consider. That about Fangio. But I'm gonna tell you, Fangio is the domino that's gonna drop. We sit up here still waiting on the coach for the Indianapolis Colts. We still waiting on the head coach for the Cardinals, but nobody cares except for fans of those teams. Fans of those teams are the only ones that care. More people are interested to see where Vic Fangio goes because why? He is a proven defensive coordinator. Everywhere he's gone has been a top 10 defense.
Yeah, I think
he's gone.
I think between now and next Wednesday, both vacancies should be filled. I think it's going to be my personal opinion. I think it's going to be Jeff Saturday and then remains in Indianapolis as the head coach, which is who cares. And Van Joseph is going to be the head coach in Arizona. But the problem is you're stuck with Kyler Murray, who doesn't care about playing quarterback. He just wants to run around and throw the ball and throw the ball.
Kyler Murray can beat you on Madden, I bet.
Coach, what's the playbook? Coach, how do you run Eagle Y Z zip 39 cross? How do you what is that? What is that? Coach, talk to me. Kyler.
D-Hop somewhere out there.
He might not be because he might get traded.
And I heard he was on a trade block.
Yeah, so who you gonna throw the ball to? Hollywood Brown? You can't throw it up to Hollywood Brown. He ain't that fast.
Yeah. So and getting back to talking about those, I think the Bengals will win their division again next year if they make all the right moves in the offseason. It's kind of early to say. It's early, but if you have somebody
almost win the division, your biggest competition is Seattle right now.
And it's Geno Smith. And he's a free agent. We don't even know they're bringing him back. If they bring Geno back, then we win in the division. Because ain't nobody scared of Seattle. We done beat them 3 times.
I don't think Geno Smith can duplicate what he did.
No, I think that was a flash in the pan.
He overachieved so much this first year. I give him credit. Congratulations, yay, whatever. Have a piece of fried chicken.
I don't think anybody's going to come in and coach the Cardinals and automatically flip them around and make them like just badasses in 1 year. I don't see that coming unless they resurrect Bill Walsh. They dig his grave up and prop him up like Weekend at Bernie's or something. That's not finna happen. Okay, the Rams. Hell, they talking about trading Jalen Ramsey. So you got Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, and that's it.
Yeah, because Matthew Stafford is falling apart.
Yeah. And if there's going to be 2 games that Shanahan's going to win, it's going to be against the Rams. So, I mean, not to mention the offensive coordinator for the Rams used to be on his staff. Shanahan has like an amazing track record against his former head coaches, former assistant coaches, excuse me.
Yep.
He may not be able to beat nobody else, but like if we get in the conference championship against a team where it's a former coach, our chances are pretty good. Unless Shanahan decide he wants to screw it up, which he did. last year. And he did again this year, but that wasn't Sirianni's not one of his guys. He just screwed it up. But anyway, thank you for tuning in tonight. This is Just a Fan podcast. That
We
is
are
the
live
human,
on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
this
You
is the
can
human encyclopedia.
follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Next week we'll do Super Bowl talk.
Oh yeah.
We'll do the other two head coaches. Probably they'll probably be hired by then. I'm assuming.
Unless Vic Fangio gets a job, they not important.
We're gonna talk about them, Eric. We're gonna talk about them.
We're gonna be like, all right, the Cardinals hired such and such. Next topic. The Colts that
Eric, you
hired
gotta
Jeff
go to
Saturday, they
details,
still gonna
man.
suck. Next
Eric,
topic.
go to the details, man.
I mean, that's what. Come on, man. You know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. The Colts have hired Jeff Saturday as a full-time coach. Next topic. That's Jacksonville's division.
Eric, stop. All right, listen. All right, so anyway, represent Swisher House. No, I'm kidding. But straight from Houston, Texas. The middle linebacker of this whole thing, the one that disturbs the peace at night down in Houston. Panel 316.
What you talking about? I'm going to bed. So we sign off. I'm going to bed. I got to work in the morning.
And I'm the quarter host, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this thing, the NFL Encyclopedia, Coach Williams. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.